Hello, everyone. I'm Cheryl Moore, and I'm pleased to be here with Nancy Porteous, sharing in her weekly mind-clearing moment with the Your Essential Facebook tribe. This is our third session in a series devoted to the themes of Advent, and our theme this week is joy. Before we get started, I want to remind you once again to please post your comments or questions following the podcast today, and your name will be entered in our giveaway draw. We've got quite a nice collection of names over the past couple of weeks, and I know that someone will be excited to receive the 3 5ml bottles of doTERRA essential oil that we will be drawing on December 19th, following our final sharing time. As we move closer to the time of gathering and sharing and the momentum of the season builds, we hope that each of you finds experiences and expressions of joy in your life, because it is so much a part of the energy of this season. We will be sharing with you today some tidbits on the spicy and invigorating oils that can be used to amp up your joy factor during the holidays. And perhaps you might even introduce them to others by bringing them into your social moments. But before we do that, I'd like to touch on one of the things that we mentioned last week during our peace theme, and how we manage and balance some of the stresses of the season. The focus was that we had touched on the ways in which we sometimes find ourselves considering and maybe even consumed with the needs of others. And how do we do that? How do we balance that from a peaceful place? So this week I wonder if we might shift that focus a bit and consider these efforts that we expend on the needs of others as a part of our love offering, and maybe as a part of the joy that we can feel if we intend our effort into the important relationships in our life. So in this regard, I'd like to take a moment to offer a quote for you as a point of reflection. Nancy and I have really enjoyed the past couple of weeks doing research, looking through books, and finding some of these nuggets. So today I offer you this quote from Neil Donald Walsh, who is the author of a great book that I read many years ago called Conversations with God. Release the joy that is inside of another, and you release the joy that is inside of you. Well, for me, when I think about that, Nancy, I just think about the idea of how happy I feel when I make another person smile, especially at this time of year. Maybe we put effort and intention into finding just the right gift or baking just the right cookie. And when we give that to someone and we see the sparkle, we see the joy, we see the face light up, it makes me realize that maybe the thought really does count. Joy might also mean honoring rituals and traditions, those that sustain us, that help us to build momentum, again, that make us smile. We might all have a favorite, the thing that aligns us with that energy, or it might be a new opportunity. So I thought I'd share with everyone this week a great experience I had on November 29th, which shifted me into the season and shifted me into joy. And it was going to the CP Holiday Train event in Midhurst. I have never done that before. I only heard about this event starting a couple of years ago. I found out in retrospect that it has existed for 18 years. And it's a train that goes across the country from coast to coast, stopping every few hours in tiny little towns here and there in the middle of a track. They open the door and out comes dry ice and music by whatever is the country musician of the year that happens to be traveling on the train. And it was amazing to be a part of the crowd, a couple thousand people rushing down a street in the middle of nowhere in Midhurst to get to this train track. And to hear their momentum and to find out that they had been raising money for food banks all across the country, and that over 18 years they have actually raised millions of dollars. So it was really, for me, a shift-changing moment, and I left there with quite the buzz. So I'm just wondering, Nancy, do you have a particular ritual that you enjoy at this time of year?
Oh, Cheryl, I really do, and it's wonderful to hear. I can see the look in your eye. You really have that sparkle. And those moments happen, and we so often don't plan them.
Right.
So often it's that pleasant surprise of being lifted into the momentum and lifted into the energy. And I am one to be drawn into a lot of that energy, and over the years I really do enjoy traditions. But I'm having this great experience this year where I have been spending time clearing my mind and taking some time to sift through and find those thoughts that truly nourish me, and find those thoughts that I can genuinely let go of. And I'm applying those to my Christian traditions this year as well. So those of you who have been clearing your mind with me on these Mondays, I'm looking at my Christmas traditions, and I'm certainly finding the ones that are bringing me true joy. This year it's music. We had music playing in our house this weekend, and not a decoration to be found. We just haven't made it happen yet. But as soon as that music was on, I was transported to all those years that I've loved it and sang along and danced in the kitchen. It was just wonderful. They truly nourish me. But what I've found is that I'm also finding those ones that I'm okay with letting go of. And a big one for me, Cheryl, is Christmas cookies this year. I've been doing I'm so thrilled with the balance I've had in my nutrition and all the other pieces that keep me going, that I'm comfortable not doing all that baking this year. And that's a big piece for me. So I really have appreciated my mind clearing to get me to a place where I can concentrate on what truly nourishes me in my traditions.
And thanks for that reminder, because it's a reminder for me that if we're going to intend something in our life, we need to choose the things that serve us, and we need to also be aware of the things that don't. And letting go to make room, so that more of what we have is what we intend to be the things that serve us, just allows the joy factor to be amped up.
It is.
Right?
It does.
So good for you, and good for all of us to be reminded that sometimes rituals and traditions are allowed to be changed.
It is. Isn't that a neat thought? Yeah, it's the one that I'm working with for sure.
Great.
Sure. And you're bringing me to that point where I think it makes sense to talk about those oils we're considering.
Yeah.
And it's those spicy oils. The oils that I wanted to bring to our attention this week are the spicy oils. I have this wonderful, yummy, yummy recipe that I use to make a creamy chai tea. And I start with a milk of any kind. And then I bring to it listen to these spices: cinnamon, cardamom, ginger, clove, and black pepper. It's that black pepper that does the trick. And it's really just one drop. Careful not to go more. But these are all spices that invigorate us. And spices are the oils that open up our passion, that do this heightening and just sort of giving us a broader view of what's going on around us. And they give you those sensations of motivation and cheer and passion. These are all words that I love using to describe my memories of the holidays. And they really do bring that to us. And when you think of those spices, think of a cinnamon, or think of a ginger, think of your black pepper. And that intensity of a fragrance can really anchor you in a memory or in an experience. And it can really open that up for you. And that's just one of our senses when we're going into our experiences, and just one of the senses for experiencing joy. As we meditate today, as we start to clear our mind, Cheryl and I would like to take you to a place to consider your senses and consider the multi-dimensions that you can use to experience your joy, and to really find all those pieces to be grateful for. And take that time to think through your senses. I've brought the spicy oils to our minds and what they can bring to our moment. But now as we start moving towards our mind clearing, consider fragrance as one of the senses, taste as another, and we'll move into the others as we meditate today.
So I'm going to ask everyone to just push your mind away from other things you might be doing right now. If you're like me, you're multitasking and you're looking at more than one screen on your computer at a time. Just sit back and close your eyes and think about the notion that you can take these 5 sensory questions anytime you want to bring yourself into a present moment, to reconnect with your body and with the here and now. So just close your eyes and find your breath. Take a deep breath in and let that go. And in your own mind, in your own voice, answer these questions for yourself right now in this moment in time. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you taste? What do you touch? Can you really feel yourself as you sit in this chair? Can you bring your hands together at your heart and feel the warmth of the energy that you place there? And finally, as Nancy said, what do you smell? Smell is our greatest reminder of memory. Really drop into your body and your senses. Be aware. Be present.
And clear in your mind to bring in these dimensions of an experience. They can happen just about anywhere you are, and whomever you're joining, and whatever activity you've committed your time to. So as you continue forward in your celebrations of the holiday in this wonderful season, take some time to clear your mind with that examination of your senses so that you can build these anchored memories for yourself and find that true joy. Take care, everyone. I hope that you have a wonderful mind-clearing moment today and that you can maybe take that into your experiences of this wonderful season.